The magical whisper of intuition. Introduction. In a world where external appearances often convince us that our possibilities are limited, this book stands as a powerful light of awakening. It serves as a guide for breaking free from invisible barriers and rediscovering the limitless strength that already exists within you. This journey invites you into an expansive universe of thought and awareness, a realm where every conscious idea holds the potential to become living reality. The Magical Whisper of Intuition by Florence Scovel Shinn presents a transformative path toward inner mastery. It gently guides you to reconnect with your intuitive wisdom and reshape your life through clarity, faith, and simplicity. This timeless work reveals the presence of infinite intelligence and teaches how intuition can become the bridge between desire and manifestation, leading to a life filled with spiritual abundance, love, and success. Florence Scovel Shinn, a visionary teacher of metaphysical philosophy in the early 20th century, introduced principles rooted in faith, affirmations, and universal law. Her teachings continue to inspire generations, empowering individuals to unlock their highest potential and move through life with confidence, grace, and understanding. This work is far more than inspiration. It is a practical blueprint for living in harmony with divine purpose and unlimited possibility. Within these pages, you will discover a universal power capable of transforming fear into courage, lack into prosperity, and uncertainty into deep inner clarity. Rather than offering motivation alone, this book provides practical wisdom for everyday transformation. From releasing resentment and emotional resistance to mastering affirmations and living with active faith, each lesson becomes a step toward manifesting your deepest aspirations. You are not encountering this message by accident. Wisdom reveals itself only to those prepared to receive it. Are you ready to awaken your limitless nature and consciously create the life you have always imagined? Your journey begins now. Chapter 1. The Magnetic Power of Intuition. True prayer is not merely the act of asking, it is the readiness to receive. When you pray, you must move forward as though your request has already been answered. Acting in faith impresses the subconscious mind and establishes an expectation of success and fulfillment. Prayer may be compared to placing a call to the divine, while intuition is the moment the divine responds. There once was a woman who deeply understood the law of preparation. Guided by intuition, she began purchasing exclusive magazines, not from vanity, but to immerse herself in the feeling of prosperity and abundance. Through this simple yet intentional act, she aligned her consciousness with wealth itself. What appeared ordinary was, in truth, a powerful expression of faith and inner alignment with universal flow. Intuition is not a passing thought or random impulse. It is a direct communication with supreme intelligence, the eternal aspect of ourselves connected to divine wisdom. While the subconscious mind holds memories, emotions, and untapped potential, intuition provides direction and purpose, transforming inner impressions into external reality. When fear and doubt are replaced with clear mental images inspired by higher awareness, harmony is restored within. Moments of quiet reflection strengthen this connection. Affirmations such as, "I remain calm and discover the power within me," reinforce trust in inner guidance. The remarkable nature of intuition is that when you follow it sincerely, life often delivers not only what you desire, but something greater than you imagined. The intuitive mind reveals exactly what is needed, yet it speaks only in stillness. Silence, therefore, becomes essential. In quiet moments, intuition is heard most clearly. Because fear, resistance, and resentment can cloud your perception and obscure the signals your higher self is sending you, maintaining balance is crucial. It is the key to allowing your inner power to shape your external circumstances. Consider how resentment clouds not only your emotional clarity, but can even manifest physically. Imagine encountering someone who, instead of offering kindness, subtly criticizes you. If you react with anger or defensiveness, your thoughts can manifest as physical tension, such as stiffness in your neck or a pounding headache. This simple scenario illustrates how our emotions directly influence our health and well-being. However, if you choose to practice forgiveness and send love to that person instead, you can reverse the emotional and physical harm such negativity may have caused. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is strength in its purest form. When you learn to let go of resentment and approach situations with equanimity, you break the cycle of conflict. Only then can you interact with others without replaying old patterns of hurt. External events cannot disturb this inner peace, which becomes a precious gem. Life operates much like a boomerang. The energy you project into the world, whether love or hatred, returns to you with equal intensity. Jesus taught that we must treat others as we wish to be treated. This timeless teaching is more than moral advice. It is a law of the universe. When you project harmful thoughts or words, they rebound and shape your reality, reinforcing the negativity you seek to avoid. As you develop spiritually, this process accelerates. With knowledge comes responsibility. If you are in conflict, remember that your true enemy is your own beliefs and emotions. By feeding fear or hatred, you anchor them deeper into your life. The only remedy is genuine forgiveness and goodwill toward those who have wronged you. One powerful declaration that can dissolve the chains of negativity is, "My goodwill is an impenetrable tower. I transform discord into harmony and injustice into justice." These words are not mere sentiment, they are a gateway to transformation. This shift in perspective can turn even deeply rooted conflicts into opportunities for growth. You possess the ability to transform difficulties into blessings, just as the alchemists of antiquity attempted to transform base metals into gold. Believing that you already have what you seek is the first step in this process. The Gospel of Mark reminds us, "Believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." Mark 11:24. True faith rests upon unwavering belief that the universe responds to conviction, not wishful thinking. By trusting your intuition, you align with divine wisdom that seeks to guide you. You unlock a realm of possibilities where fear dissolves and clarity reigns. The world may attempt to distract you with noise, but within you lies a compass more powerful than any external force. Let that compass guide you, not toward the life you think you should live, but toward the life your soul has always known was meant for you. Chapter 2: The Power of Gratitude and Faith in Action. Gratitude is the seed from which all growth springs, while complaints nourish the roots of scarcity. The way you perceive money determines how it flows into your life. To view prosperity as dependent solely on salaries, investments, or fixed sources of income is to adopt a limited vision. These streams can quickly dry up. True prosperity lies in recognizing that abundance is not confined to what is visible. It is sustained by a divine energy that is ever-present and always active. When one door closes, another inevitably opens. Money is more than a resource. It is a symbol of freedom and an essential element of the universal design. The invisible realm of imagination is an unlimited bank where prosperity takes form before materializing in the physical world. First, you must set your intention with unwavering conviction. Speak boldly, declaring that the universe is your eternal source and that joyful financial surprises are already on their way. Faith is not passive, it requires movement. Belief without action is sterile. Even a simple symbolic act, such as buying a new wallet and saying, "This is my magical wallet for receiving the riches the universe is sending me," creates a powerful feeling of expectancy. Equally important is releasing anything that burdens your subconscious with feelings of lack. Objects connected to fear of scarcity carry energetic weight. By preparing yourself through active faith, you align with the grace of the universe, which responds accordingly. Fear of losing what you possess often ensures its disappearance. What you cling to in fear cannot remain rooted as a lasting blessing. There was once a woman who owned a valuable pearl necklace, yet she often said, "Someday I may have to sell these pearls to survive." Over time, her financial situation declined, eventually forcing her to relinquish the necklace she feared losing. Her words and thoughts became the architects of her reality. Conversely, gratitude attracts increase and strengthens what you already possess. Your connection to the cosmic flow of abundance deepens when you express gratitude, even during uncertainty. Saying, "I am grateful because the universe is my inexhaustible source, and I am now connected to a constant stream of prosperity under perfect and divine conditions," transforms your inner state from longing into receiving. How you feel about money defines your relationship with it, not how much you own. Feeling poor attracts limitation. Feeling abundant attracts wealth. Constructive and positive thinking creates the mental environment necessary for prosperity. Declare daily, "Today is the day of my extraordinary fortune." Even if money leaves your hands, trusting the process allows new sources of income to return, sometimes in unexpected ways. This is not reckless spending, but intuitive trust when allocating or sharing resources. One woman felt compelled to donate money to a friend who had once helped her. Soon afterward, she received thousands in cash from an unexpected source. Her generosity expressed faith in the universe's endless supply, and it returned multiplied. Remind yourself, "I am in harmony with the wealth of the universe. I lack nothing, for divine supply precedes me." Release the urge to dwell on past failures. Energy spent reliving losses perpetuates them. Instead, greet each day as an opportunity for new blessings. Declare with faith, "The current has shifted in my favor, and abundance flows freely to me." Ancient wisdom echoes this truth. Your barns will be filled to overflowing. Proverbs 3:10. Gratitude, combined with active faith and positive thought, unlocks the pathway to prosperity. When you give thanks for unseen blessings already approaching you, you align with the natural rhythm of divine abundance. Chapter 3: The Magical Path of Intuition. What you see through inner vision eventually unfolds in the world around you. Intuition is not merely a whisper of possibility, it is the blueprint of your future. The simple act of clearing your space carries profound power. It becomes a spiritual cleansing that removes beliefs of scarcity, failure, resentment, and sorrow. In doing so, you free your mind to receive the blessings prepared for you. Resentment and loss strip away your creative power. The moment you recognize this truth, your world begins to shift. Your heart's desires move toward fulfillment within a renewed reality of health, abundance, and joy. Your words, like sacred incantations, shape reality. Even in darkness, speak with intention, for purposeful words can transform misfortune into triumph. With the right declaration, every apparent failure can be reborn as victory. Do not allow external limitations or temporary setbacks to cloud your perception of truth. Instead, affirm, "The light of the sun illuminates my mind and body, and I now see the fulfillment of my desires." Negative thoughts rooted in impatience and sadness create destructive outcomes. Consider someone longing for flowers while thinking, "No one will ever send me flowers." The universe, responding to the underlying energy of thought, may fulfill this desire in an ironic or unpleasant way, perhaps through an accidental event rather than joyful intention. But when gratitude becomes the foundation of thought, "I give thanks that flowers arrive in my life gracefully and perfectly." When you affirm this, you open the channels for that blessing to arrive in the most beautiful form. The law of use or loss governs nature itself. If you hoard out of fear of lack, you invite loss into your life. But when you use what you have with trust and wisdom, knowing that the invisible supply will always replenish you, abundance flows effortlessly. This is the law of accumulation in action. Never declare scarcity over your life with words like, "I'm completely broke." Such affirmations etch negative imprints into your subconscious mind. Instead, remember that the game of life is deeply personal. Change your mindset, and your circumstances will change as well. Speak with unwavering faith. "I am at peace and in perfect balance, immune to frustration or attack." The power of your words is not superstition, but a truth woven into the fabric of existence. A striking example is the story of a mother who, after a heated argument with her family, declared in anger that she would never return to a certain home. The following year, she found herself confined to a hospital bed, unable to fulfill that promise, not as punishment, but because her words, fueled by bitterness, shaped her reality. However, by shifting her perspective and visualizing herself as healthy and joyful, she experienced a remarkable recovery. What we hold with clarity in our minds eventually manifests in our lives. Faith is always fruitful, yet many find it easier to imagine failure rather than success due to deeply ingrained negative patterns formed in childhood. However, these patterns can be undone. Affirm with confidence. I now see my endless supply, doors open, and the channels of abundance flow freely. Do not force mental images. Invite the perfect ones to arise naturally from your higher consciousness. One powerful affirmation to guide this process is: the infinite light flows through my mind and body, clearing all obstacles and revealing the perfect path. Your external world reflects your internal state. Create a space that invites prosperity by nurturing order and positivity. Even small details, such as placing fresh paper on your desk, can symbolize readiness to receive. An uncluttered space mirrors a clear mind, and a clear mind is fertile ground for abundance. Never underestimate the power of your words. Speak from gratitude and unshakable trust, for nothing is too wonderful to happen or too beneficial to last. As the poet Alexander Pope once wrote, order is heaven's first law. When you align your mind, your words, and your spirit with divine order, you become a living conduit for the miracles the universe is ready to send your way. In this sacred harmony, intuition ceases to be a faint whisper and becomes a symphony of endless possibilities. Chapter 4: Transforming Old Thought Patterns into Power. No one keeps you from your destiny except yourself. The negative ideas you hold and reinforce over time become deeply rooted patterns in your subconscious, shaping the very experiences you fear most. These thought patterns act as magnets, drawing into your life the circumstances you most wish to avoid. Until you neutralize them, they will continue to appear, challenging you to rise above them. Fear left unchecked inevitably takes form. However, facing fear head-on with courage and stepping forward with unwavering confidence is the key to breaking free. Gratitude is your first step toward liberation. By affirming, I give thanks for my whirlwind of success. My path is cleared, for I walk in harmony with the divine plan for my life. You infuse yourself with strength and dissolve the mental chains of defeat. This declaration empowers you and creates space for the perfect idea of success to take root and flourish. Be mindful of the words you use, not only toward yourself, but toward others. Labeling someone with pity or disdain, even unintentionally, affects your own energy. The human mind is remarkably receptive to the thoughts it entertains, and true victory comes from aligning with your higher mind, the divine force within that operates from love and purpose. Consider the story of Cinderella. The wicked stepmother and stepsisters symbolize internal barriers such as feelings of inferiority and powerlessness. The fairy godmother represents the superconscious mind, the divine spark within that turns the impossible into reality. When Cinderella lost her glass slipper, she did not lose her chance at happiness. Instead, she attracted exactly what she had envisioned, her prince and her new life. Likewise, your fears act as shackles, but when you connect with your inner power, you can break free and rewrite your story with clarity and conviction. Remind yourself, here and now, all things are possible. What once seemed out of reach is now within my grasp. Even a change of scenery can help disrupt old thought patterns. Traveling or stepping outside your routine can open your mind to new perspectives and release limiting beliefs. Yet changing your environment alone is not enough. If you carry fear and worry within you, no breathtaking view or distant horizon will bring peace, while your heart remains burdened with doubt. Beware of feeding thoughts of envy. They create barriers between you and the life you desire. Self-pity, too, is a subtle but destructive mindset. The more you feel sorry for yourself, the more hardship you attract. Instead of sinking into despair, rise above it. Elevate your consciousness beyond fear, and you will witness your deepest desires forming with astonishing speed. Remember the words of wisdom. Do not let your heart be troubled, nor let it be afraid. John 14:27. By releasing old beliefs, you make room for a life filled with success, abundance, and joy. When you let go of fear and embrace your divine right to thrive, you step fully into the magnificent life meant for you all along. Chapter 5. Aligning Mind, Body, and Spirit. A harmonious soul does not vibrate at the frequency of illness. Health and happiness are deeply connected, and signs of aging or disease often emerge when inner discord disrupts life's natural flow. Maintaining serenity and balance is essential for true well-being. Consider the story of a woman who felt unjustly deprived of a sum of money. Her inability to forgive and release the situation negatively affected her health, eventually leading to illness. Her fear-driven impulse to hoard and economize violated the law of circulation, creating lack where there should have been prosperity. Actions rooted in fear and resistance disturb the natural flow of both abundance and health. Negative thoughts, such as criticism and resentment, can produce tangible harm in the body. Criticism acts like a slow toxin, poisoning the bloodstream and often manifesting as ailments like arthritis or joint pain. Resentment seeps into the cells, weakening the immune system and corroding vitality. Yet just as destructive emotions can harm the body, a shift toward joy can bring miraculous restoration. The simple transition from despair to delight has the power to restore circulation, renew cells, and infuse life with energy once more. Words hold immeasurable power to heal or harm. When you declare with confidence, "Today is the day of my extraordinary prosperity. I speak life, success, and abundance, and they manifest with grace," you engage the magnetic energy of mind and body. Your words, like radio waves, ripple through the ocean of creation, forming your desires. Intentional affirmations and vivid visualizations can reshape and rejuvenate the body. Picture yourself enveloped in dazzling divine light that dissolves everything misaligned with your higher purpose. This sacred practice not only strengthens and restores the body, but also shields it from deterioration caused by fear-based thoughts. Joy is a force that surpasses any earthly remedy. Ancient wisdom reminds us that joy is a source of strength and resilience, while fear and worry wear down the cells and invite weakness. Even in moments of financial loss or personal hardship, an unshaken attitude can restore prosperity and peace. There was once a woman who suffered a significant financial loss. Instead of surrendering to bitterness, she forgave the person responsible, blessed the situation, and cultivated gratitude and a mindset of wealth. Shortly afterward, she recovered the money she had lost, demonstrating that abundance cannot be denied when you align yourself with it. True immunity transcends the physical realm. It arises from a heart free of fear and a mind anchored in peace. A joyful person who lives without resentment is far less likely to fall ill, as elevated vibration forms an energetic shield against negative influences. Conversely, stubbornness, anger, and fear create disturbances within the body's organs. The liver, for example, is highly susceptible to criticism and excessive worry, while the heart thrives in an atmosphere of kindness and forgiveness. Every organ reflects an emotional state, and by nurturing love and surrender, you restore not only health, but also your connection to the divine essence within. A powerful affirmation to cultivate this balance is: divine light flows through my mind and body, bringing perfect harmony and radiant health. My heart is filled with joy, kindness, and forgiveness. By releasing destructive thought patterns, you dissolve the shadows that cast pain and limitation over your body. You begin to embody a luminous form, free from suffering and aligned with infinite possibility. Your physical self reflects your inner self. When you purge negativity from your mind, your body radiates vigor and strength. Do not be dejected or sad, for the joy of the Lord is your strength, as Scripture reminds us, Nehemiah 8:10. Health and happiness become constant companions when you embrace each day with enthusiasm and unwavering trust. Fear and temporary circumstances no longer govern your life. Instead, the realization that well-being begins within guides you toward lasting harmony. In the peaceful haven of your mind, where every breath restores strength, every thought reflects the divine, and every heartbeat echoes calm, your spirit whispers the blueprint for a life of radiant balance. Chapter 6: Embracing the Infinite Now. To bring your future into the present, you must fully embrace the now. Time and space, as we perceive them, are illusions, dreams we transcend once we understand their nature. Everything you long for, everything that seems distant, already exists. You need only accept and live it in the present moment. Imagine a student who dreamed of owning a beautiful watch. She chose to believe she already possessed it, envisioning it as part of her reality. Shortly afterward, a friend gifted her the very watch she desired. This is the power of realization, transforming longing into manifestation. Acting as though your desires have already come true holds the key. When doubt and fear create distance between you and your goals, anchor yourself with affirmations that restore confidence. If fear arises, boldly declare, "This is simple for me." Worries and adverse appearances are merely illusions, shadows without substance. A man once troubled by restless thoughts adopted an unusual strategy. He set aside 30 minutes each day solely for worrying. To his surprise, when the time arrived, he found himself unable to worry at all. Unknowingly, he activated the law of non-resistance. By releasing resistance, peace and clarity entered his life. Success follows those who align their thoughts with the universal rhythm of life. Affirm. The tide has turned in my favor. Abundance flows to me and remains with me, for divine providence grants me passage. Many people remain tethered to the future, endlessly dreaming of someday while failing to act today. Consider two brothers. One pursued his dreams immediately, while the other only imagined future success. The difference was not talent, but willingness to live in the present. To manifest your dreams, root yourself firmly in the now and align your goals with divine design. Affirm. Let the divine design for my life illuminate my conscious mind. Let me clearly see the perfect path. The subconscious holds your life's blueprint, but the conscious mind must release restrictive thinking. Desires outside divine alignment often bring obstacles or dissatisfaction even when achieved. Health, wealth, love, and authentic self-expression form the pillars of fulfillment. One woman once ordered a sweater but received 2 unexpected styles instead. Though hesitant at first, she discovered she loved one far more than her original choice. From that moment, she trusted the infinite intelligence guiding her life and declared, "Universal power is my guide. I now sail fearlessly on uncharted seas." Fear of change traps many people in unsatisfying circumstances, yet joyful movement toward new horizons leads to transformation. Routine dulls the spirit, while play and recreation renew creativity and open pathways to success. Let your ideal become the only reality in your mind, and obstacles will dissolve. Spirit, as pure intelligence, is ever present, waiting for you to tune into its frequency. When you recognize that your supply originates from this boundless source, lack disappears. Blessings arrive, often in unimaginable ways. Ancient wisdom reminds us, "Lift up your eyes and look at the fields, for they are already white for harvest." John 4:35. The harvest is ready. You need only open your heart and step into the infinite now. Chapter 7: The Art of Letting Go. Your heart's desires, though sacred, become burdens when held with desperate attachment. Anxiety and impatience cloud longing, preventing fulfillment. Excessive yearning creates tension that repels manifestation. Instead, live in joyful expectation, knowing your desires are already fulfilled. When you embrace certainty, peace replaces fear. In this tranquil ocean of faith, miracles unfold. To feel happiness, act as though it already belongs to you. To experience wealth, embody abundance. Alignment creates reflection in reality. Your struggles are not punishments, but spiritual awakenings, gentle guidance urging realignment with harmony. They reveal areas requiring adjustment and growth. If someone has harmed you, recognize that forgiveness restores your power. Protect yourself from resentment by maintaining love and goodwill. Declare firmly, I invoke the law of forgiveness. This circumstance resolves itself under grace rather than karmic law, and I am free from wrong. True forgiveness transforms energy instantly. Barriers dissolve, and former adversaries may even become allies assisting your divine purpose. Patience is not passive, it is active trust. When you release control and surrender to divine timing, desires manifest effortlessly, like sailing calm waters guided by current rather than struggle. There was once a woman determined to start her own business but faced constant obstacles. Finally, she surrendered, saying, I release this to the universe. Soon afterward, while visiting another city, she met someone who offered exactly the assistance she needed. What seemed coincidence was divine orchestration responding to surrender. Disconnecting personal will from divine guidance blocks blessings. The Spirit's will, I will sell it. If not, the money will come in another way. Days later, she received an unexpected check covering her needs without parting with the cherished item. This illustrates the profound power of renunciation, a principle often misunderstood, but one that unlocks perfect solutions. Living without anxiety. Living without anxiety, trusting the divine design, and releasing control are essential steps in manifesting your desires. When you align with love, patience, and faith, your dreams cease to be distant aspirations and become tangible realities that enrich your life. The desires of your heart manifest only when freed from attachment, attack, and resistance. Many people, in their fervent longing, emit vibrations of anger, frustration, and fear, energies that push away what they seek. The journey to manifestation begins with inner peace and non-resistance. A student who longed to spend New Year's Eve with someone special learned this lesson firsthand. She discovered that the man had made other plans. Her initial reaction was one of tears and anger. These emotions only created further distance between her and her desire. Counselors advised her to let go of her resentment, bless the man, and wish him a joyful evening without reproach. To her astonishment, her change in attitude softened his heart, and the next day he called to invite her to spend that special evening together. This powerful shift illustrates how vibrations of love and acceptance can transform even the most disheartening situations into opportunities for joy. Anger and resentment are destructive forces that block manifestation. Even when suppressed, their negative energy lingers in your vibration, influencing your experiences. During a meeting, I once used an affirmation to dissolve such emotions. The light of infinite intelligence flows through our consciousness, dispelling all anger and resentment. We are at peace with ourselves and the world. Later, a woman in attendance described experiencing a radiant light that permanently erased discord from her mind. She realized that her anger had cost her valuable opportunities, but she knew she would never allow it to control her again. Spiritual growth demands not only emotional control, but also purification of the subconscious mind, where negative beliefs take root over a lifetime of experiences. The ultimate goal is to flood your consciousness with thoughts of love, goodwill, and harmony. I once met a man who professed to love everyone, but admitted disliking certain individuals. I gently reminded him that even traces of ill will must be addressed to achieve true clarity and peace. Each challenge we encounter is an opportunity for purification. Only when we become unmoved by life's trials do we cease attracting them. Detachment applies even to the smallest decisions. A friend, accustomed to following her intuition, once chose to ignore it. She opted to take the subway instead of a taxi, thinking it would save money. Upon arriving home, she discovered she had lost $1, the exact amount she had hoped to save. This incident taught her that disregarding inner guidance often carries a greater cost than anticipated. Unused money can disappear in unexpected ways. Achieving your goals requires living in the moment and trusting that the infinite spirit knows how, when, and where every insight comes from. Use resolute statements of truth to counter negative thoughts. I am one with the Almighty Spirit. I am one with my good. My good is in instant action. I am the Spirit. These affirmations dispel uncertainties, anxieties, and imperceptible obstacles that stand in the way of your blessings. Manifestation frequently takes unexpected forms. A student longed for her business to succeed, but incessant anxiety prevented progress. She didn't let go of her worries until a small setback diverted her attention. She soon received a big payment, along with news that her business venture had been successful. This is the power of letting go. You make room for blessings to arrive freely. When you release fears and resistance and surrender your wishes with faith, your heart's desires become realities, filled with grace rather than burdens. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, the psalmist declares, Psalm 23:1. You won't lack anything if you have faith in this divine truth. Chapter 8. The Infinite Intelligence. When you begin to see time and space as mere illusions, you step into a realm where the extraordinary becomes possible. Life unfolds not as a series of limitations, but as a vast, magical stage where infinite possibilities dance in the spotlight. This realization transforms your perspective, allowing you to suspend disbelief and exist fully in the moment. Untouched by the constraints of time, it is here in this timeless awareness that the true magic of life begins. Miracles and magic are intertwined, both born from belief in the extraordinary. Think of the wonder inspired by a magician who seemingly pulls rabbits from an empty hat or produces a cascade of golden fish from his sleeve. Though we know these are illusions, they remind us of a deeper truth. The impossible can manifest before our eyes. This truth becomes undeniable when you align with the infinite intelligence, the great magician that operates beyond the veil of the visible world. In its presence, loss becomes abundance, illness transforms into health, and despair blooms into joy. The only barriers are doubts and fears we harbor within. To fully activate this extraordinary power, nurture unwavering faith. A single affirmation or fresh perspective can spark a sudden realization, leading to swift manifestation. Once, during a workshop, I invited participants to envision the universal power as a great magician. I encouraged them to imagine a magical hat from which they could draw anything they needed. This simple exercise dissolved anxiety over the how and shifted focus to the abundant giver of all blessings. One man, a business professional seeking a 7-story building for a client, embraced this practice. Closing his eyes, he declared, "I now draw from the great magician's hat the perfect building in the perfect location." Within days, he found exactly what he was seeking. This wasn't mere coincidence, but the natural result of openness to receive, trusting infinite intelligence to orchestrate the impossible. Everyday life offers countless lessons if we pay attention. I recall leaving my watch for repair. When I retrieved it, it was losing 10 minutes daily. Though initially disheartened, I accepted this small flaw with grace. When the watch accidentally slipped from my wrist and hit the floor, I resisted frustration and instead declared, "I christen this event as a success." Astonishingly, the watch then worked perfectly. What seemed a mishap became a reminder. Even setbacks can lead to unexpected alignments. Your supply, blessings, and solutions are already with you, waiting to be revealed. The universal storehouse of infinite intelligence holds everything you could ever need. To access it, all you need is faith and openness. A simple affirmation, such as "Reveal to me the treasures of the great magician now," can open the doors to abundance. It is as though you are putting on spiritual glasses, removing the filters of doubt and fear, allowing you to see the world as it truly is. A realm brimming with blessings, health, happiness, success, and prosperity. However, these spiritual glasses require regular cleaning. Doubts, fears, and negative patterns can cloud your vision, keeping you from perceiving the blessings within reach. That is why inspiration and renewed faith are vital. Sometimes, the faith of a friend or mentor can act as a spark, rekindling the light within you. This shared energy can unlock pathways you didn't realize existed, revealing that even the ground you stand on is fertile with opportunity. I once met a woman who felt trapped in a cramped hotel room and longed for a home of her own. Her circumstances felt insurmountable, but I encouraged her to take a symbolic action to demonstrate faith in her desire. Shortly after, she returned to me carrying a carving knife, a seemingly peculiar item for someone without a kitchen. She explained that the knife symbolized her readiness for the home she envisioned. Her act of faith paved the way, leading her to a house that perfectly matched her dreams. The infinite intelligence, the great magician, is constantly in perfect harmony, ready to change any circumstance to your advantage. You align with this limitless force when you live with faith and openness. The assurance that your desires are already on their way, ready to materialize in perfect timing, comes when your faith is strong and aligned with the universal plan. The rewards you can receive are boundless. Life itself continuously tests your faith. Even the smallest, most mundane events hold valuable lessons. Once I had a dress with an ornamental tassel that I always meant to trim but never got around to. One day, as I stepped onto a bus, the tassel snagged and tore off, ending up exactly the length I'd always wanted. That moment taught me not to delay action. Even seemingly trivial details can carry profound messages about the importance of aligning intention with action. Allowing the infinite intelligence to freely flow through your life can lead to miracles. One spring, a woman longed for apple blossoms, but the season was still too early. Undeterred, she drove from farm to farm in search of the elusive flowers. Finally, she came upon a barren tree, and as she stood before it, it miraculously burst into bloom. This was no mere coincidence. It was a testament to the transformative power of faith. The boundaries of time and space dissolve when you trust in the limitless potential of the universe. Jesus demonstrated control over the illusions of time and space, serving as an example of this truth. He transformed adversity into plenty, multiplied loaves and fish, and even surpassed death. He was able to accomplish these miracles because of his unshakable confidence in the infinite intelligence. They are not exclusive deeds, but rather serve as illustrations of what is attainable for everyone who believes. The propensity to concentrate or overanalyze results is one of the biggest barriers to manifestation. This focus creates resistance, emptying the natural flow of universal power. Trust is essential. As the saying goes, a pot left unwatched never boils. Release your desires with faith, knowing that they will materialize at the right time. Rather than examining every detail, delays frequently happen because we aren't ready to get what we've requested yet. Sustaining the blessings we seek requires growth and preparedness. The same applies to relationships. Many people pray for love, but are burdened by insecurities and fears that sabotage their efforts. Without a foundation of faith, even the most promising opportunities can crumble. You must build true love and fulfillment on a rock-solid belief in your worthiness and the abundance of the universe. When you act from a place of faith, you attract stability. When you act from fear, chaos follows. Self-pity is another trap that disconnects you from your inner power. Declaring, "Poor me," only attracts more reasons to feel downtrodden. I knew a woman who broke free from this cycle by affirming, "Nothing is too beneficial for me." Soon, her life transformed. Influential people entered her circle, and opportunities for success and prosperity unfolded effortlessly. Eventually, she fulfilled her lifelong dream of studying music abroad. The infinite intelligence, the great magician, has the power to carve pathways even in the most challenging circumstances. Regardless of the severity of your circumstances, you can always turn to this divine source and affirm, "I will create a path through the wilderness and rivers in the desert. I will build my dreams on a foundation that no storm can erode." With faith as unshakable as a rock, the stage is set, the magic is real, and the great magician waits only for your trust. Chapter 9: Unlocking the Miracles. Everything the fourth dimension offers is already yours. Imagine a world where your most cherished dreams and desires crystallize effortlessly into reality. This world exists not in some distant land or unattainable realm, but within the very fabric of the fourth dimension, a plane where the infinite intelligence of the universe awaits your call. The fourth dimension is a domain of perfect ideas, a realm where thoughts become things. Your beliefs and intentions shape reality in this crucible. Yet many remain trapped in cycles of fear and doubt, feeding these illusions instead of the faith that can set them free. Believing in a life of perfection, a life free from suffering, requires imagination, courage, and an unyielding will to hold fast to this belief, even when external appearances suggest otherwise. To embrace the alchemy of transformation, a woman once confided in me about her despair over a seemingly hopeless situation. Her anguish was palpable, a dark cloud that threatened to consume her entirely. I looked her in the eye and said, "None of these appearances can deceive you." The weight of those words took root in her consciousness gradually. As if the universe had been waiting for her to let go of her doubts, the divine plan of her life began to unfold with grace and precision. Such is the power of spiritual law, which, when understood, grants us mastery over our circumstances. A student facing dire financial difficulties came to me desperate for a solution. I advised him, "Step aside and let God do it." At first, this seemed too simple to him, a mere platitude, but as he surrendered his struggles to the infinite intelligence, a new channel of provision opened swiftly and effortlessly. The teachings of ancient wisdom and modern spirituality converge on this truth. To access miracles, we must allow the divine to flow through us. Indigenous traditions, for instance, honor the Great Spirit as the ultimate source of strength. A Native American runner, after completing a grueling journey, explained, "I am not tired. The Great Spirit runs within me." It takes time and effort to develop this trust in the divine. Perseverance and faith cultivate this habit once established. However, it has the power to transform lives. Consider the story of Omaha, the racehorse, known for his peculiar start. He would run a mile before finding his rhythm. I often use Omaha's story to describe those who have yet to discover their spiritual stride. To them, I say, your time will come, and when it does, you will win your race in the blink of an eye. Discontent, whether with oneself or external circumstances, often holds us back from taking the first step toward success. That first step is gratitude for who you are here and now. You are the protagonist of your life's grand narrative. In the fourth dimension, you never take a backseat. As Claude Bragan so aptly said, to live intuitively is to live in the fourth dimension. This intuitive living is the magical path that transforms perceived disadvantages into stepping stones toward success. One man's story exemplifies this principle. Illiterate and rejected for a janitor's position, he began selling cigars. Over time, he amassed significant wealth. When asked how life might have been different if he had received an education, he replied, "I would have been a janitor at public school number 1." What seemed like a disadvantage became the foundation of his triumph. Such is the nature of faith, the bridge that connects us to infinite possibilities. Faith requires action, however small. A woman yearning for her dream home performed a simple act of faith by purchasing a carving knife, an item she didn't need in her modest hotel room. This symbolic gesture initiated the process of manifestation, ultimately leading to the realization of her ideal home. The fourth dimension erases limitations, offering every desire to those aligned with the divine plan. Yet patience and trust are essential. Like water reaching its boiling point, manifestations arrive when we are truly ready to receive them. This readiness begins with fearless faith and confident action. Recognize that the ground beneath your feet is sacred. The infinite intelligence of the universe has already prepared everything you need. All that remains is for you to open yourself up to receiving it. People often ask me, if infinite intelligence provides everything, why do we need to ask for anything? The answer is simple. It is the law. To activate the divine flow, you must take the first step. Just as pressing a button brings light into a room, the power is always present, but it requires conscious action to manifest. Many hesitate to ask the universe for what they truly desire, fearing they might be asking for too much. Yet the deepest longings of your heart are neither excessive nor trivial, they are essential. A woman once asked me, "Is it wrong to ask for what I truly want, or should I only request what I need?" My reply was simple and unequivocal. If you desire it, it is necessary. Profound desires, such as love, beauty, and self-expression, are expressions of the soul aligned with divine purpose. When your desires spring from this connection, there are no limits to what you can ask for. Illusion of duality, the belief in separate forces of good and evil, creates barriers to the flow of divine energy. In truth, there is only one power in the universe. The concept of evil is a human creation, a shadow born of fear and misunderstanding. In the fourth dimension, where perfect ideas reside, evil leaves no mark. When you align with this singular power, illusions of loss, failure, and suffering dissolve. I recall a friend who spilled something on her dress and feared it would stain. I reminded her, evil is unreal, it leaves no mark. After affirming this truth, the stain vanished entirely. Even small recognitions of truth have the power to transform seemingly adverse appearances. Negative emotions, such as resentment and anger, block the flow of divine energy. A woman once held resentment toward her niece, only to discover that releasing it brought not only peace to her heart, but also excellence in her niece's actions. Transformations like these begin with a simple declaration: I desire only what God desires through me. This affirmation dissolves misguided desires and replaces them with higher aspirations. Often, we look back and feel gratitude for unanswered prayers, realizing they would not have served our highest good. Manifesting the perfect plan for your life requires accessing the fourth dimension, where perfection in health, wealth, love, and self-expression resides. Each of us has a unique role to play in this divine tapestry, and when we embrace that role fully, no one else can fill it. Even the most extravagant desires of your heart are yours to claim, provided they align with the divine will. The principle is simple yet profound: ask and you will receive. Ask not with doubt or fear, but with active faith and absolute confidence that the universe will respond. When you take the first step and grant infinite intelligence the right of way, you unlock an endless flow of blessings. The scriptures remind us, seek and you will find, knock and it will be open to you, Matthew 7:7. Throughout this journey, we have explored universal truths that elevate consciousness and align us with infinite intelligence. Life is not a series of random events, but a fertile ground where intentions, thoughts, and words are seeds that inevitably bear fruit. Every act of faith, every affirmation, and every gesture of gratitude builds the reality you desire. To access abundance, health, love, and self-expression, we must recognize our role as co-creators of experience. When we surrender to divine flow and allow God to guide us, we free ourselves from fear and worry, paving the way for a life filled with miracles. Infinite intelligence has the power to transform obstacles into opportunities, limitations into blessings, and failures into stepping stones toward success. This path requires courage, the courage to release old beliefs in scarcity and duality, and embrace the truth of a singular, loving power. Faith and conscious creation are inseparably linked. Intellectual understanding alone is not enough. We must trust that every challenge is an opportunity for purification and growth. When we stop resisting and act with faith, the universe responds with perfect precision and love. The message is clear: make bold requests, trust your instincts, and lay the foundation for your blessings. Life is a journey of self-discovery, each step bringing you closer to your divine essence. In this game of life, there are no defeats, only lessons guiding you toward the unfolding of the divine plan. Remember, everything the fourth dimension offers, health, wealth, love, and joy, is already yours. These blessings await your faith and gratitude. Walk with the certainty that the universe is working in your favor, and remember that the ground beneath your feet is sacred. As the Master once said, ask and you will receive, seek and you will find, knock and it will be open to you, Matthew 7:7. Let this knowledge be your compass, guiding you to a life of fullness, illuminated by the love and light of infinite intelligence.